Is Braja there?
Yeah, yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
Braj.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitanista Ajanulambita Bujau Kanakavadato Sankirtanaikapitaro Kamalayatakshu Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Jugadharmapalo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, I learned something about Om today. You start at the Pa and go up to the Sa. Like Om.
I thought it was ah. It's not. It's ow. It starts with the ah.
Yeah, however you're going to pronounce it, but that's how the melody goes. Om. You go up to the Sa on your tampura from below, but you got to get onto the Sa to final.
But the thing is, you don't start with a Sa, you start with a Pa. So
yeah, that's what I mean. But you go.
You start with the Pa to Sa. Yeah.
That's what I said. But the lower Pa.
Who told you that?
Well, I watched.
That is what he said. I heard him say the Pa.
What?
Yeah. Praveen Godkindi, he's a flutist, a classical, South Indian classical flutist, and he was saying it.
Well, what happens if you but is that down down?
Well, it's in that those notes are there, but not all of them. Anyway,
what happens if you're in Malcons and you're not using Pa?
Right. Silence. Vaishampayana said. So remember, he's been cursed by Shukra for taking his concubine to bed. Right? Yayati.
Mind just give us a recap because I've forgotten.
Yeah, he marries Devayani, the daughter of Shukracharya, and along with her, Sharmishta, the daughter of Rishaparva, the king of the Daityas, on the condition that he mustn't approach the bed of Sharmishta. But he does, and has 3 children. And when his Brahmin wife Devayani sees him in the forest with these 3 children, she goes like, "Who are they?" And so she asks the children, "Who is your father?" And they all point to Dushyanta. So he's been cursed now because she goes running away, Devayani, back to her father, Shukra, and he curses him with old age. Vaishampayana said, having been attacked by old age, Yayati returned to his capital. He summoned his eldest and best son, Yadu, and said, "O son, old age, wrinkles, and grey hair have overcome me because of a curse imposed by Kavya Ushanas. But I am not yet satiated with youth. O Yadu, take upon yourself this guilt and the consequent old age. I can then enjoy pleasures with your youth. When 1,000 years have passed, I shall return your youth to you and take over the guilt and the consequent old age." Yadu replied, "O king, white hair and beard, cheerlessness, flabbiness, wrinkles on the body, ugliness, weakness, thinness, incapacity to work, defeat by the young and forsaken by those who depend on you. I do not wish for this old age. Yayati said, "O son, you were born from my heart, but you will not give your youth to me. Therefore, your offspring will have no share in the kingdom." You have to remember this. The Yadu is cursed, that his posterity cannot be kings. O Turvasu, O son, now his second son, both born of Devayani, the Brahmin, take upon yourself this guilt and the consequent old age. I wish to enjoy pleasures with your youth. When 1,000 years have passed, I shall return your youth to you and take over the guilt and the consequent old age. Turvasu replied, "Oh, father, I do not desire old age. It destroys all desire, pleasure, strength, beauty, intelligence, and even life." Yayati said, "You were born from my heart, but you will not give your youth to me. O Turvasu, therefore your lineage will become extinct. O foolish one, you will be a king over subjects whose conduct and practices will be impure. Women of superior birth will marry men of inferior birth. They will live on meat and lust after and cohabit with their preceptors' wives and animals. O evil one, the evil ones will follow the conduct of animals and behave like netters." Thus did Yayati curse Turvasu, his son. Yayati then spoke to Sharmishta's son, Druhu. "O Druhu, for 1,000 years take over the old age that destroys beauty and complexion. Give me your youth. When 1,000 years have passed, I will return your youth, and you take back the guilt and consequent old age." Druhu replied, "One who is old cannot enjoy elephants, chariots, horses, or women. Which fails him. Therefore, I do not desire this old age." Said, "You were born from my heart, but will not give your youth to me. O Druhu, therefore the most cherished of your desires will not come true. You and your lineage will not be kings, but will have the title of Boja. In the land where the only means of transportation will be rafts, boats, and swimming. O Anu, accept my guilt and the consequent old age. I will have your youth for 1,000 years." Anu replied, "Those who are old eat like children, drooling and unclean at all times of the day. They cannot pour offerings into the sacrificial fire at the right time. I do not wish for such an old age." Yayati said, "You were born from my heart, but will not give your youth to me, since you have described so many faults associated with old age. Old age will overcome you. Your offspring will be destroyed as soon as they attain youth. You yourself will not be able to perform any sacrifices before the fire." Yayati said, "O Puru, you are my youngest and most beloved son. You will be the best among them. O son, old age, wrinkles and grey hair have overcome me because of a curse imposed by Kavya Usanas. But I am not yet satiated with youth. O Puru, accept my guilt and the consequent old age. I will enjoy pleasures for some time with your youth. After 1,000 years have passed, I will return your youth to you and accept back the guilt of the consequent old age. Having been thus addressed by his father, Puru replied, O great king, I will do what you command me to do. O king, I I will take upon myself the guilt and the consequent old age. Accept my youth and enjoy pleasures as you wish. I will live as you say, attacked by old age and deprived of youth and beauty. I will give you my youth. Yayati said, O Puru, O son, I am extremely pleased with you. Since I am pleased, I will grant you this. Your offspring will rule the kingdom, be prosperous, and accomplish all their desires.
Jai Puru. Let's big it up for Puru.
Now you want to go, Matsura?
Okay, we're doing short.
We don't have to. You're on mute, by the way.
Am I?
You're
Oh,
muted, yes.
I am. No, am I?
Or maybe my speakers went off.
Yeah, I'm not muted.
You're not muted?
No, I don't think so.
I
Can
can hear. I can
everybody
hear him
else hear
fine.
me? Can you hear me? Can
I
I?
can hear you,
My speaker
Matsura.
died, I think.
Yes, yeah.
I have to plug it in. So
Yeah.
anyway, I
How's
can't
that?
hear anything for a minute. But Matsura, I'll have a break there myself for reading.
Okay, then. Okay.
You'd have to take it in turns. Sorry.
Vaishampayana said, having received Puru's youth, Yayati, Nahusha's son and the best of kings, was delighted and indulged in pleasures as he desired, as he could sustain at whatever time he wished, and as it gave him happiness. O Lord of Kings, but he did nothing that was against Dharma. He pleased the gods with sacrifices, the ancestors with Shraddha ceremonies, the poor through charity, the Brahmanas by fulfilling their desires, the guests through food and drink, the Vaishyas with protection, the Shudras with kindness, and the Dasyus with suppression. Yayati pleased all his subjects by ruling according to Dharma, like Indra himself. The king was as valorous as a lion. He was young and enjoyed all the pleasures and unlimited happiness, but without transgressing Dharma. The king was extremely happy at these grand pleasures. However, the ruler of men was also despondent when he remembered that 1,000 years would soon end. Soon? But yeah. Knowing the measurement of time, the valorous one counted kalas and kashtas. What is that? Is that a time measurement? Obviously. What is a kashta? Does anybody know?
Yeah, kashta is basically a series of
I can't
nimeshas.
hear because my speaker keeps cutting out. I've got to quickly go and get another speaker, but in the meantime, I can't hear anything.
Well, why don't you just go and
pause
get
for a minute if you like?
Yeah, let's have a. Okay, but let B. Makama answer that question. Oh, you can't hear it. We'll wait a second for Panditji to this sonic scene together.
So a kala is about 4 seconds.
Okay.
Kala.
Kala. About, but not exactly.
Yes, it's roughly the time it takes. 5 nimeshas is roughly the time it takes to lagu say the 5 lagu aksharas, which are right the beginning of the ka, the throat words, syllables. So ka charta tapa. You say those 5, and that's the time it takes to make 1 matra. 4 matras makes 1 kala. So it's right. And that's a kala.
Okay. You heard it here, dudes, through Mr. Beamer. So that's a kala, but what's a kashtas?
Kashta, I can't remember. It's in between a matra and a kala.
Wow. Okay. Are you there, Madan? He's not there yet.
Is that basically their way of saying he's watching the clock, right?
I don't know.
Because he's anxious about the time running up, so he's just constantly watching the clock, like, oh, 1,000 years is gonna...
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like I know. God, it's the opposite when you're in jail. You're waiting for your release date, and you just see the days and the days.
Scratching the numbers on the side of the wall. Yeah.
Madan, what's going on? Ah, come on. How long does it take to
Yeah.
plug a bloody speaker? Are you at your place, Kanai, or you're still at your friend's?
No, originally I was in Newark in my place that I'm renting, but now I'm here in Wembley, the place where I grew up. So it's both my place.
So this is your mum's pad?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, it's summer, isn't it? I'm getting away from Newark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Madan. What's the... Shall we... We'll wait.
Can carry on.
Shall we?
Yeah, may as well.
Yeah. When the entire duration was complete, he called his son Puru and said, "O son, vanquisher of foes, with your youth I have enjoyed pleasures as I desired, as I could sustain and at whichever time I wished. O Puru, O fortunate one, I am extremely pleased with you. Take back your youth now, and also take the kingdom, because you are the son who has brought pleasure to me." Nahusha's son, King Yayati, then took back his old age, and his son Puru received back his youth.
Electricity from
I think he died, and that's just not giving him up. Yeah, it did go flash red there.
Let's just wait. Let's just wait, because otherwise we can't focus.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Brudge's troubleshooting.
They should have muted themselves.
They should have, shouldn't they? Slap on the wrist. Oh dear, it's funny. It's like time. I'm so unused to doing things at this time that we do at 6:30. It's just not the time I do things.
Yeah, no.
I always start the evening things start about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Between the afternoon to 7, that's all this kind of no man's land where you have tea and you do things and that, and then you do all that, and then the evening starts.
I can hear you again now.
Can you put your vision on, please?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can hear you now. I can hear
Jolly
you.
good. Okay, well, back on it. You missed a tiny little bit there, but you're all right.
Well, let's just go back. Can you read from...
Do you want to hear it again? Okay, I'll read it again. When the entire duration was complete, he called his son Puru and said, "O son, vanquish your foes. With your youth I have enjoyed pleasures as I desired, as I could sustain at whichever time I wished. O Puru, O fortunate one, I am extremely pleased with you. Take back your youth now. Also take the kingdom, because you are the son who brought pleasure to me." Nahusha's son, King Yayati, then took back his old age, and his son Puru received back his youth. The king wished to instate his younger son Puru as the king, but the 4 Varnas, led by the Brahmanas, said, "O Lord, how can you instate Puru in the kingdom, overlooking your eldest son, Yadu, who is Shamishta's son and Shukra's grandson? Yadu is your eldest son. Turvasu comes after him. After him there is Shamishta's son, Dhruya, and then Anu, and then Puru. How is it proper to pass over the elders and instate the youngest as the king? In accordance with Dharma, which you uphold, we wish you to bring this to your attention." Yayati replied, "Listen to my words. Everyone from the 4 Varnas, led by the Brahmanas, as to why the kingdom cannot give to my eldest son. My commands were disobeyed by my eldest son, Yadu. It is the opinion of the learned that a son who acts counter to the father's wishes is no son at all. He is a son who follows the words of his mother and father, not for their welfare. He is a son who acts like a son with his father and mother. Yadu has slighted me, and so has Turvasu. I have been extremely slighted by Dhruya and Anu. Puru is the only one who has specially followed my commands and respected me. Though he is the youngest, he accepted my old age. Puru is like my true son. He did what I desired. Kavya Ushana Shukra himself granted me the boon that a son who followed my instructions would become the king and would rule over the earth. Therefore, I ask all of you to allow Puru to be instated as king." The people said, "It is true that a son who has all the qualities and always seeks the welfare of the mother and the father and respects them deserves to be the Lord, even if he is the youngest. Since Shukra has granted this boon, there is nothing that we can say." At these words from the citizens of the town and the country, Nahusha's son then instated his son Puru as the king. Power to the people. Giving the kingdom to Puru, he accepted the vows for departing to the forest and left his capital with the Brahmanas and the ascetics. Yadu's sons are known as the Yadavas. Turvashu's sons are known as the Yavanas. I didn't know that. Okay. Dhuruya's sons are known as the Bhujas and Anu's sons as the Blechas. Us. Puru's sons are known as the Purava lineage, O king. You yourself have been born to rule this kingdom for 1,000 years. I'll just read to 82. Vaishampayana said, having instated his beloved son as the king, Nahusha's son, King Yayati, was happy and became a sage in the forest. He lived in the forest with Brahmanas, rigid in their vows and living on roots and fruit. After a life of self-control, he ascended to heaven. Having attained heaven, he lived there in bliss and happiness. But after a long time, he was again thrown out by Shakra. I have heard that when he was hurled down from heaven, he remained suspended in the sky and did not reach the surface of the earth. It has been said that he later went to heaven together with the kings Vasuma, Ashtaka, and Valorius, Partandana, and Shibi. Janamijaya asks, through what deeds did the Lord of the Earth again attain heaven? O Brahmana, before all these Brahmanas who are rishis, I wish to hear all the details. Yayati was like the king of the gods and lord of the earth. He extended the Puru lineage. He was as resplendent as the sun. The great souled one's fame was extensive and his deeds based on truth. I wish to hear his complete story in heaven and here. Vaishampayana said, I will recount for you the excellent account of Yayati's exploits in heaven and here. This is sacred and destroys sins for all those who hear it. Having instated his younger son Puru on the throne, Nahusha's son, King Yayati, happily retired to the forest. He cast aside to the furthest corners his other sons with Yadu as their head. The king lived in the forest for a long time, surviving on roots and fruits. He paid homage to the gods and the ancestors, conquered his rage, and controlled his senses. He poured offerings into the fires prescribed for those who retired to the forest. The Lord worshipped his guests by offering forest food and ghee. He sustained himself through gleanings of corn and remnants of food from others. In this way, the king passed a full 1,000 years. For 30 autumns, he lived on water alone, controlling his mind and speech. For 1 year, he lived on air without sleeping. For another year, he performed austerities amid the 5 sacred fires. For 6 months, he stood immobile on one leg. The performer of sacred deeds then ascended to heaven. I love all this. Against all odds. It's terrible. I got pop-songs. Keep moving up and don't you ever stop. Whatever it is, take it to the top. Okay. Sorry
It's
about
very
that.
good. It's very good. Yeah.
Who would you like to read next?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to. Let me just set up the angle. So, Vaishampayana said, when that Lord of Kings lived in heaven among the gods, the 30 gods, the Sajas, the Maruts, and the Vasus, they paid him homage. The performer of sacred deeds often went from the world of the gods to Brahma's world. It has been said that the Lord of the earth lived there for a very long time. One day, Yayati, supreme among kings, went to Shakra, and in the course of the conversation Shakra asked the Lord of the earth, O king, what did you tell Puru when he accepted your old age and roamed the earth, and when you gave him the kingdom? Tell me truly. Yayati replied, I told him that he would be the king of the earth in the central region between the rivers Ganga and Yamuna. His brothers would rule over the other regions. I told him that men who possess no anger are superior to those who have anger. Men with forgiveness are superior to those who do not forgive. That men are superior to animals and the learned to the ignorant. If abused, one should not abuse back in turn. If not suppressed, Anger burns one's good deeds. One should not cause pain to others through cruel words. One should not cause fear to those who are worse off. One should not utter words that hurt and cause pain to others, taking one to hell. One who wounds another through the thorn of harsh, sharp, and abrasive speech is deserted by Lakshmi and bears evil in his mouth. A righteous man should always be worshipped in the front. A righteous man should protect one's back. One should always disregard the cruel words of wicked ones. Cruel words issue from the mouth like arrows and cause hurt, night and day. When they descend, they strike the innermost parts, and learned ones never release them on others. In the three worlds, there is nothing that pacifies as much as compassion, friendship towards beings, charity, and sweet words. Therefore, one should always use words that pacify and never those that are harsh. One should honor those deserving of respect, always give and never ask. Indra said, O king, O son of Nahusha, O Yayati, after accomplishing all your deeds, you left your home and departed for the forest. Tell me, who are you equal to in your austerities? I am asking you. Yayati replied, O Vasava, I do not see anyone equal to me in austerities among gods, men, Gandharvas, and Maharishis. Indra said, O king, since you are disrespecting those who are your superiors, equals, and inferiors, without knowing their powers, these worlds will end for you now. Your merits will diminish, and you will fall. Yayati replied, O Shakra, O king of the gods, since my disrespect for gods, rishis, Gandharvas, and men have diminished me and made me lose these worlds, I wish that when I am deprived of the world of the gods, I should fall among righteous men. Indra said, O king, you will fall among those who are righteous. There you will again obtain great standing. O Yayati, after knowing this, you will never again show disrespect for your superiors and your equals. Vaishampayana said, At that, Yayati fell from the sacred worlds, frequented by the king of the gods. While he was falling, Rajarishi Ashtaka, the protector of true Dharma, saw him. Ashtaka asked, O youth, who are you? You are like Vasava in your form, and blaze like the fire with your own radiance. Why are you falling like the sun, the chief among those in the sky, and the dispeller of masses of dark clouds? On seeing you fall from the sun's path, as immeasurably radiant as the sun or the fire, everyone is wondering at what is falling among us and is being deprived of consciousness. On seeing you traverse the path of the gods, equal in radiance to Surya, Indra, and Vishnu, we have all arisen and come together to ask you the reason for your downfall. O one whose beauty causes envy, had you asked us first who we were, we would not have committed the impudence of asking you first. But we now ask you, who are you and why have you come here? O one with Indra's powers, let your fear be dispelled. Let your misery and delusion end. You are now in the presence of those who are righteous. Even Shakra, the killer of Bala, will not dare to harm you here. O one who is equal to the king of the gods, righteous ones always provide standing to those who have been deprived of their happiness. Righteous ones are lords of the movable and the immovable. Righteous ones are assembled here, and you are among them, those who are like you. Fire is the lord of burning. Earth is the lord of sowing. The sun is the lord of light. Like that, a guest is the lord of the righteous. Shall I keep going to 85?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Keep going.
Yayati said, I am Yayati, Nahusha's son, and Puru's father. Disrespect for all beings has dislodged me from the world of the gods, the siddhas and the rishis. My merit diminished. I am falling. Since I am older than you in age, I was not the first to greet you. He who is senior in learning, austerities, or birth is older and is worshipped by the Brahmanas. Ashtaka replied, O king, you say that he who is older in age deserves the respect of others, and that is the reason you did not greet first? But it is also said that the worship of Brahmanas is for him who is senior in learning and austerities. Yayati said, It is said that evil deeds destroy the merit of good deeds, and vanity leads to the evil worlds. The righteous never follow evil, and act so as to increase their virtue. I myself had great riches, but all that is gone now, and I will not get it back, despite my best efforts. One who learns from this fate will be wise and righteous. In the world of the living, men have different dispositions, but depending on destiny, their power and efforts may amount to nothing. Knowing that destiny is supreme, the learned say that the wise are content with what they obtain. Happiness and misery are determined by destiny and are beyond one's control and powers. Knowing that destiny is supreme, one should not be miserable or happy. The wise are always equable, without misery in grief and exaltation in happiness. Knowing that destiny is supreme, grief and exaltation are pointless. O Ashtaka, I never tremble in fear, nor is my mind ever affected by anxiety, for I know that it will certainly be the way the Creator has determined for me. Insects, those born from eggs, vegetables, reptiles, worms, fish, stones, wood, and everything, when freed from action, are reunited with nature. I know that happiness and unhappiness are not eternal. O Ashtaka, knowing this, why should I grieve? We never know what should be done to avoid misery. Therefore, I am not concerned and give up grief. Ashtaka replied, O Lord of Kings, tell me in detail the accurate accounts of the worlds that you enjoyed and where you spent time. You speak of Dharma like one who knows the subject. Yayati said, I was a king, ruling over the entire earth as my kingdom. I acquired many great worlds and those beyond them. I lived there for 1,000 years and then ascended to a superior world. That beautiful world was the capital of Puruhuta. It had 1,000 gates and extended for 1,000 yojanas. I lived there for 1,000 years and then ascended to a superior world. I attained that world, which was divine and without decay. It was the world of Prajapati, one that is difficult to attain. I lived there for 1,000 years and then ascended to a superior world. That was the abode of the god of the gods. I lived in that world as I wished. The 30 gods have paid me homage. I have rivaled the gods in power and glory. In Nandana, I could assume any form at will. For 1,000,000 years I sported with apsaras, in mountains with flowering trees and fragrant scents. I lived there in divine happiness for a large number of years, beyond counting. Then a messenger of the gods, terrible in visage, shouted to me thrice in a deep voice, Ruined! 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 O king! I remember that I fell from Nandana with my merits diminished. O Lord of men, I heard the voices of the gods in the sky, lamenting and mourning. Yayati, of sacred fame and sacred deeds, has had his merit diminished and is falling. What misfortune! When I was falling, I asked them, Where are the righteous ones among whom I shall fall? They pointed me to this sacrificial ground that belongs to you. On seeing it, I came here quickly. I smelt the fragrance of ghee wafting up from the sacrificial ground. I saw the smoke rising up and was reassured. and it's chapter 85 now. Someone like, should I keep going? Or
I think
someone else would like to hear it?
Dina or Beamer, does either of you want to speak?
Yeah, I can read.
Go on, Beamer, then.
Okay. Om Tat Sat.
On to-
Ashtaka asked.
You have to put your camera on,
Oh, sorry.
please, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Okay.
Jolly good chef.
Okay.
We
Ashtaka
desire
asked.
to observe your visage.
Ashtaka asked, "O one who is foremost among those
can't
of the
see
Krita
you.
Yuga."
Where's your?
You
where's
can't. Oh, I think I. Hold on.
There you
On,
Whoa.
off, on. There we go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Ashtaka asked, "O one who is foremost among those of the Krita Yuga, you could assume any form at will. You spent 1,000,000 years in the garden of Nandana. Why did you have to give it up and come to earth?" Yayati replied, "Here, friends and relatives forsake a man who has lost his wealth. There, the gods and their Lord forsake one whose merit has been diminished." Ashtaka asked, "I am curious to know how one's merit is diminished there. My mind is confused on this. Please also tell me which worlds are attained through which means. Please tell me. I know that you know the subject." Yayati replied, "O God among men, with great lamentations, those who speak of their own merits are hurled down to hell, known as Bhoma. Though actually lean, they grow and become food for vultures, dogs, and jackals. Therefore, in this world, a man should avoid evil acts that are condemned. O king, I have now told you everything. Please tell me, what else should I say?" Ashtaka said, "When life is destroyed through age and they are torn apart by vultures, peacocks, and insects, where do they live and how they come to life again? I have not heard of a hell named Bhoma." Yayati replied, "When they have ascended from their bodies, depending on their deeds, they are born again on earth. They descend into the hell known as Bhoma, and it is impossible to count the many numbers of years spent there. Some fall in the sky for 60,000 years. Some others fall for 80,000 years. Then they fall to Bhoma and are attacked by terrible Rakshasas with sharp teeth." Ashtaka asked, "When they fall thus to Bhoma, why are they then attacked by terrible Rakshasas with sharp teeth? How do they continue to exist? How do the dead enter the womb again?" Yayati replied, "Just as raindrops cling to flowers and fruit, they cling to the semen created by man. Then they enter a woman at the time of her season and become an embryo in the womb. In visible form, life enters trees, herbs, water, air, and earth, and the sky. Thus do the dead become embryos again in the form of bipeds and quadrupeds." Ashtaka asked, "Does a seed enter the womb with the old form, or does it grow a new form? How is a human womb entered? Tell me, because I still have doubts. How is the visible form of limbs, eyes, ears, and senses acquired? Since I am asking you, tell me all this. O Father, you know everything on the subject." Yayati replied, "When it is the season, the invisible form enters the womb through the sperm, like into a flower with its juices, depending on the rights that have been acquired. The embryo develops with the passage of time. When the limbs are developed and the sixth sense is established, man is formed. With his ears, he gets to know sound. With his eyes, he gets to see form. With his nose, he knows smell, and with his tongue, taste. With touch, he gets to feel, and with his mind, he gets to know feelings. O Ashtaka, know that this is how the great Atman develops life in the body." Ashtaka said, "A man who is dead is burnt, buried in the ground, or becomes dust. He is reduced to nothing after death. Later, how does he get to know himself again?" Yayati replied, "O lion among kings, a man who dies is like one asleep. However, his good and evil acts are in front of him. When the body is dead, he assumes some other form with a speed that is swifter than that of the wind. Those who have performed good deeds go to a pure birth. Those who did evil go to an evil birth. O one with great feelings, the evil become worms and insects. I will not speak about them. I have told you how the dead become embryos again, bipeds, quadrupeds, and those with 6 legs. I have told you everything in detail. What more do you wish to ask? Ashtaka asked, O father, is there anything that can be done to attain the superior worlds through austerities and the pursuit of learning instead of returning to the earth? How does one attain the world of supreme bliss? I am asking you, please tell me everything accurately. Yayati replied, austerities, gifts, tranquility, self-control, humility and compassion toward all beings. The learned say a man is deluded and loses everything through pride. A man of knowledge who thinks himself to be learned and uses his learning to debase the fame of others never attains the eternal worlds, nor does the Brahmana yield any fruits to him. There are 4 acts that dispel all fear of danger, but cause fear if performed in the wrong way, with pride. Offerings before the fire, vow of silence, studying, and sacrifices. The learned should find no pride in homage. The learned should not grieve if insulted. The good always honor the good in this world. The evil never possess the intelligence of the good. I have paid homage. I have performed sacrifices. I have studied, and I have observed vows. But I have done all this while discarding fear. The learned ones know the Ancient One, who is the refuge and is worshipped from the mind. He is the one with the supreme and radiant form, for finding supreme peace here and in the world hereafter. And I just want to comment there earlier when they're talking about the word daiva is the word they translate in Mahabharata a lot as right, destiny, right? And this is the Adi Daiva. Krishna comments, he is the Adi Daiva, the right Mahapurusha, the Virat Purusha. So this seems to be a word they used for like God, but it also means like providence, you know, destiny, fate, this kind of a thing. And so it often gets translated in that very Adibautic way, more worldly way. But that's seems to be like a very deep word for God that they use that means all those at once. Okay, carrying on. Ashtaka asked, how should a householder act so as to attain the gods? What about mendicants and those who practice brahmacharya? What about the one who is devoted to the right path after retiring to the forest? Those who know have many differing views on this. Yayati replied, a successful brahmachari should not be asked to do his preceptor's work and will study when asked to do so. He will awake first and go to bed after everyone else. He will be soft in speech, not stirred by pride, devoted to studying and self-controlled. The ancient sacred texts say that when a householder obtains riches according to dharma, he must spend it on sacrifices and give alms and provide food to guests. He should not take from others what has not been given him. A chief sage who has attained success must live on his own strength in the forest. He must give to others and never cause them pain. He must be controlled in his food and deeds. The true mendicant is one who does not depend on any craft for his living. He is always without a home. He has control over his senses and is always free from attachment. He does not live under a roof and travels with little and light belongings. He roams through many regions alone. When there is a night in this world, when one has conquered desire and happiness, that is the night when a learned one should become an ascetic. A person who performs good deeds in the forest frees 10 generations that have come before and 10 that come after him, counting himself. That is 21 generations. Ashtaka asked, how many kinds of sages are there? And how many who observe vows of silence? Tell us, we wish to hear all this from you. Yayati replied, he is a true sage who lives in the forest and turns his back on the village. He is also one who lives in the village and turns his back on the forest. Ashtaka asked, how can one turn one's back on the village while living in the forest, or turn one's back on the forest while living in the village? Yayati replied, The sage who lives in the forest uses nothing from the village. Thus he turns his back on the village while living in the forest. But a true sage who maintains no fire and has no house or clan and keeps roaming, who wants nothing more than a loincloth as a garment, and who is content with food that is enough to sustain life, he lives in the village and turns his back to the forest. He has given up all desire and deeds and has his senses under complete control. He is the one who attains success in this world as a sage. Who will not worship one whose teeth are washed, nails are clipped, who is always bathed and without dirt, and whose deeds are white, though he may be dark in complexion? Lean from austerities and emaciated in blood, flesh, and bones, such a sage not only conquers this world, but also the supreme one. The sage who observed a vow of silence and sits in meditation with indifference between opposites, he conquers this world and the supreme world. A sage who eats like cattle and other animals, all his earlier worlds merge with the eternal at the same time of universal destruction. Ashtaka asked, O king, who among these two, though both expert like the sun and the moon, maybe exert, I'm not sure, maybe both, though both exert, though both exert like the sun and the moon, first attains union with the gods? Yayati replied, he who has no home despite being a householder and has controlled his desires, and the mendicant who lives in the village but has no home will reach first. Both those who don't attain old age and those who do can deteriorate, because even if austerities are performed, there will be more austerities. It is said that cruelty finds no truth. O king, even if one has no riches, but devoutly observes Dharma without thinking of gains, one attains union with the eternal. Shall I stop here?
No, go to 88.
Okay. Ashtaka said, O king, you are young, handsome, garlanded, and resplendent. Where have you come from, and where are you going? Whose messenger are you, O Lord of the earth? Where is your place? Yayati replied, since I have lost my merits, I am falling into the hell known as Bhoma. I have been cast out from the sky and am entering the earth. I will go there after telling you that I must fall more. The Brahmanas and the rulers of the worlds are asking me to hasten. O Lord of men, I obtained a boon from Shakra, that I would fall among righteous men when I fell on the surface of the earth, at a place where the ones with all the good qualities were assembled. Ashtaka said, O king, do not keep falling. I ask you if there is any world for me here in the sky or in heaven. I think you know the subject of Dharma. Yayati replied, O lion among kings, there are many worlds for you to enjoy in heaven, as many as the cattle and horses on earth and animals in the forests and in the mountains. This you must know. Ashtaka said, O Lord of kings, I give you all the worlds that are mine in heaven, be they in the sky or in heaven. O one who beats back enemies, take them and go there quickly. Do not keep falling. Yayati replied, O chief among kings, the likes of me who are not Brahmanas or those who know the Brahman, do not accept gifts. O Lord of men, earlier I have always given to Brahmanas myself, as one must. Let no one who is not a Brahmana earn a living through begging, nor should the Brahmana wife of a valorous husband. If I act the way I have never done before, what righteousness will come of that? Pratardhana said, O one with beauty that leads to envy, my name is Pratardhana. If I ask if there are any worlds for me in heaven or in the sky, for I think that you know the subject of Dharma. Yayati replied, O Lord of men, there are many worlds for you, dripping with nectar mixed with ghee and full of bliss. Even if you live in each for 7 days, they will last you eternally. Pratardhana said, I give them all to you. Do not keep falling. Whatever worlds are for me, in the sky or in heaven, take them quickly and go there, shedding all your delusions. Yayati replied, O king, no king who is equal in energy will crave for and accept the possessions obtained by another king through yoga. Even if affected with the adversity of destiny, no wise king should act in a cruel way. An intelligent king will tread the path of dharma and fame and bear dharma in mind. A person like me, learned and knowledgeable about dharma, will not act in the way you have advised. If I do, what others refuse to accept, how can that bring my welfare? When King Yayati spoke these words, Vasumana, supreme among kings, addressed him.
Dina?
Hello.
Hey, we've got Paul Hadcroft. We've got a bit of prana coming in from India there. Hey? Paul Hadcroft is Pranaji, but let's have a little bit of Dina. Would you like to read Dina?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, put the camera on then, though.
Yeah, I'm just on my. Yeah, we go. I'll try to get both.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
You could put the camera a little bit. Okay, yeah. So anyway, as you like.
Vasumana said, O Lord of men, I am Vasumana, the son of Rosha Dashvi, who is asking you, is there any world for me in heaven? O great souled one, I think you know the subject of Dharma. Yayati replied, in the sky, on earth, and in the directions and wherever the sun radiates its heat, eternal worlds are waiting for you in heaven. Vasumana said, I give them all to you. Do not keep falling. Let all my worlds be yours, O king, O wise one. If it is improper for you to accept them as a gift, buy them with a piece of straw. Yayati replied, from childhood, I have not taken anything in the wrong way. I do not remember any false sale. If I do what others refuse to accept, how can that bring my welfare? Vasumana said, O king, if it is improper to purchase them, take these worlds from me as a gift, O Lord of men. I will certainly never go there. Therefore, let these worlds be yours. Shibi said, O father, I am Shibi, the son of Ushinara. I ask you if there are any worlds in the sky or heaven that are for me. I think you know the subject of dharma. Yayati replied, O Lord of men, in speech and in your heart, you have never refused anyone who has asked you. Therefore, eternal worlds await you in heaven, great, prosperous, and radiant as lightning. Shibi said, O king, accept these worlds as yours. If you do not wish to accept them as a gift, purchase them. I will not accept them now that I have given them to you. Go to those worlds. Yayati replied, O Shibi, you are indeed the equal of Indra in influence, O Lord of men. Your worlds are infinite, but I derive no pleasure from worlds that are given to me. Therefore, I cannot accept what you have given to me. Ashtaka said, O king, you have not welcomed any of our worlds, but we have given them all to you. You will now go to hell. Yayati replied, you have given to one who is deserving of gifts. All of you are strict in your righteousness and devoted to truth, but I do not have the courage to do what I have not done earlier. Ashtaka said, we see these 5 golden chariots before us. Who do they belong to? They are high and shining, blazing like the flames of fire. Yayati replied, these 5 golden chariots, high and shining and blazing like the flames of fire, will bear you. Astaka said, O king, climb into your chariot and ride valorously in the sky. We will follow you when our time comes. Yayati replied, all of us must go together. All of us have conquered heaven. Look, our path to the world of gods has become visible. Vaishampayana said, lighting up the sky and earth with the glory of their righteousness, Those supreme kings then ascended their chariots and departed for heaven. Ashtaka said, I thought that I would be the first one to leave. The great-souled Indra has always been my friend. How is it that the vehicle of Shibi, son of Ushinara, has speedily outpaced us? Yayati replied, Shibi, Ushinara's son, has given up all his riches for the path of the gods. Therefore, he is the best amongst us. Gifts, austerities, truthfulness, dharma, humility, riches, forgiveness, equanimity and forbearance, King Shibi has always had them all. In incomparable measure. He is a learned king who has never been cruel. He is also restrained by his modesty. It is for these reasons that his chariot now outpaced ours. Vaishampayana said, driven by curiosity, Ashtaka again asked his maternal grandfather, who was equal to Indra, O king, I am asking you, please tell me truthfully, where have you come from? Who do you belong to? Whose son are you? In this world, what is it that you have performed that no one else, Brahmana, Kshatriya, can perform? Yayati replied, I am Yayati, the son of Nahusha and Puru's father. I was a universal emperor on earth. You are my relatives, so I am revealing the secret to you. I am your maternal grandfather. Having conquered the entire earth, I gave it to Brahmanas. I gave them also handsome horses with single hooves, and the gods then obtained their rightful shares. I gave this entire earth away to Brahmanas with all its means of transport, cattle, gold, and best riches and cows that numbered 100 arbudas, which is
100 million.
wow. The sky and earth still exist because of my righteousness, and the fire burns among mankind. Never have I uttered a word that is not true. The learned always worship the truth. In all worlds I know that gods and sages are revered because they are devoted to the truth. He who recounts the tale of our ascent to heaven, to the chief among Brahmanas, who does not question it, will himself attain the same worlds as us. Thus, the great-souled king, who was the scourge of his enemies, was saved by his grandsons. The performer of the most noble deeds left the earth and went to heaven, filling the earth with his exploits. Janamejaya said, O illustrious one, I wish to hear about the kings who established dynasties in the lineage of Puru. Tell me who they were, about their valor, their power, their courage. I have heard that in this lineage there was a single king who lacked in valor or in good conduct, nor was there one who lacked in offspring. O blessed one, with the power of austerities, I wish to hear detailed accounts of these kings who were learned and famous, and about their characters. Vaishampayana said, I will tell you what you have asked. The valorous ones of Puru's lineage were like chakra in their energy. Through his wife, Pushti, Puru had 3 Maharatas as his sons, Pravira, Ishvara, and Rodashva. Pravira was the one who extended the lineage through Shurasheni. Pravira had the valorous Manasyu as his son. This one, with eyes like blue lotuses, became the lord of the earth, right up to the extremities of the 4 directions. Through Shoviri, Manasya had 3 sons, Shubru, Shamhanana, and Vagmi. They were all brave Maharatas. Through an Apsara, Rodashva had 10 great archers as his sons. They were brave warriors, performed many sacrifices, and were famous and had many offspring. They were all learned in the science of weapons and were all devoted to Dharma. They were Richepu, Kakshepu, the valorous Krikanepu, Stanadilyepu, Venapu, and the great warrior Stalepu. The mighty Tejapu, the wise Setyapu, whose valor was like King Indra's, Dharmepu, and the 10th was Samtamnepu, whose might was like that of a god. O son, these sons were born through Anandaristi. They performed royal sacrifices and horse sacrifices, O king. Richepu had a wise son named King Matinara. Matinara himself had 4 sons whose valor was unbounded: Tamsu, Mahana, Atirata, and Ruyu, whose radiance was unequaled. Among them it was greatly valorous Tamsu, who extended the Puru lineage. He conquered the entire earth and obtained great fame and splendor. Tamsu gave birth to a valorous son named Lina, who was supreme among conquerors and subjugated the entire earth. O king, through Ratantari, Lina gave birth to 5 sons who were like the 5 elements: Dushanta, Shura, Bhima, Pravasu, and Vasu. O Janamanjaya, the eldest, Dushanta, became the king. From him, through Shakuntala, was born a learned son named Bharat, who became the king. It was through him that the greatly famous Bharat dynasty started. Through his 3 wives, Bharat had 9 sons, but none of them was like him, and the king was not satisfied with any of them. O descendant of the Bharat lineage, Bharat then performed a great sacrifice and obtained a son named Bhumanyu. Through Bharadvaj, O best of the Bharat lineage, Puru's descendant looked upon his son as his own. Bhumanyu was instated as their heir apparent. The king himself had a son named Vitata, and Vitata became known as Bhumanyu's son. Through Pushkarini, Bhumanyu had sons named Suhotra, Suhota, Suhavi, Sujayu, and Richika. Suhotra, the eldest among them, became the king of the earth. He performed many royal and horse sacrifices. Suhotra conquered the entire earth, right up to the boundaries of the ocean. With all its elephants, cattle, horses, and many gems, the earth seemed to be oppressed at the many burdens he placed on her, with masses of elephants, horses, chariots, and human beings. Suhotra was a king who ruled over his subjects in accordance with Dharma. The earth was covered with hundreds and thousands of altars and sacrificial stakes. People and crops were plentiful, and the earth was adorned with the presence of the gods. O descendant of the Bharat lineage, Suhotra, the lord of the earth, gave birth to 3 sons through Aikshvaki, Ajamida, Sumida, and Purumida. Ajamida was the chief among them, and he perpetuated the dynasty. O descendant of the Bharat lineage, through his 3 wives he had 6 sons. Riksha was born from Dumini, Dushanta and Parameshti were born from Nili, and Janu and Jana and Rupina were born from Keshini. All the Panchalas were descended from Dushanta and Parameshti. The Kushikas were descended from infinitely energetic Janu. It is said that the Riksha was older than Jana and Rupina and became the king. O King Riksha, Riksha had a son named Samvarna, and he extended your lineage. It has been heard that when Riksha's son Samvarna ruled the earth as king, there was a great disaster that led to the destruction of subjects. The kingdom was broken up through famine, plague, drought, and disease. The armies of their enemies defeated the Bharats and sought to conquer the earth with 4-fold armies. The Panchalas soon conquered the entire earth and defeated them in battle with 10 Akshohinis of soldiers. In great fear, King Samvarana fled with his wife, sons, advisors, and friends. He then found shelter in the forests on the banks of the river Sindhu, where the river extends up to the mountains. Facing a difficult situation, the Bharats lived there for many years. They lived there for 1,000 years. One day, the illustrious Rishi, Vaishishta, went there to the Bharats, and at his approach, they respectfully and dutifully paid homage. All the Bharats then offered the radiant Rishi welcome gifts and honored him. He lived there for 8 years, and the king himself then requested him to be their priest, so that they might regain their kingdom. Vaishishta agreed to this by saying Om to the Bharats.
It's Vashishta, isn't it?
Vashisht,
Yes.
silent A on the end. Vashisht.
No, it's beginning. It's not Vai, it's Ba. Sorry.
Aha, thanks.
Sorry.
We have heard that he instated the Purava as the emperor of all the Kshatriyas. Like the tusk of the entire expansive earth, the descendant of Bharat was established in his former supreme capital. With his strength, he conquered the earth once more. Samvarna, the descendant of Ajamida, performed many great sacrifices in which a lot of alms were given. Through Tapati, the daughter of Surya, Samvarana had a son named Kuru. Since Kuru was learned in the way of Dharma, all the subjects instated him as their king. It is after his name that Kuru Jangala has become so famous in the world. The great ascetic made Kurukshetra a sacred place through his austerities there. We have heard that Ashvashvana, Abhishyanta, Chittarata, Muni, and the famous Janamanjaya were his 5 sons through the intelligent Vahini. Abhishyanta begot Parikshit, the powerful Shabal Ashva, Abhiraj, Viraja, the immensely strong Shalmali, Uchaishrava, Bhadrakara, and Jitari as the 8th. 7 more immensely strong sons were born in this lineage. Janamejaya and the others, they were learned and famous for their qualities of their deeds. Parikshit had sons who were learned in Dharma and Artha. Kakashena, Ugrasena, the immensely valorous Chitrasena, Indrasena, Shushena, and Bhimshena. Janamejaya's sons were famous on the earth because they were very strong. Dhritarashtra, who was born first, Pandu, Bailika, the immensely energetic Nishada, the powerful Jambu Nada, Kundodara, Padati, and Vasati as the 8th. All of them were skilled in Dharma and Artha and were always engaged in the welfare of all beings. Dhritarashtra became the king, and his sons were Kundika, Hasti, Vitaraka, Krata, Kundala as the 5th, Havishrava, Indrabha, and the invincible Sumanyu. O bull among the Bharat lineage, Pratibha had 3 sons, Devapi, Shantanu, and the Mahabharata, Bhalika. Urged by desire for dharma and welfare, Devapi became a hermit. Shantanu and the Mahabharata, Bhalika, obtained the earth. Many other Maharatas and supreme and righteous kings were born in the Bharat lineage, equal to gods and rishis. In this way, many Maharatas were born in Manu's lineage. They were the equals of gods themselves. The numbers extended his lineage, or Ela's lineage.
I think there's some. Sorry there. What about Braja? Do you want to read Braja?
Yeah. Is it?
Braja? Does Braja want to read?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should come now. Stina, that was great.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Dina. Nice one, man.
Is Paul Hadcroft going to read next?
I can't read because I'm in the dark and my kids are asleep.
Okay, no problem. But are we going to see your face at all?
No, because I'm in the dark.
You turn on
Which
lights.
page are we on?
Okay, it's all right. Page 90. Page
Towards the end, I will.
248, chapter 90.
Okay. Janamejaya said, O Brahmana, I have now heard from you the great origins of my ancestors. I have also heard about the noble kings who were born in my lineage. But I am still not satisfied with this account that I love, because it is too brief. Therefore, narrate it to me in greater detail. The divine account from Prajapati Manu onwards. Who will not find pleasure in hearing of such a sacred lineage? There is abundant and established fame in the three worlds about the qualities, righteousness, greatness, strength, influence, valor, energy, and perseverance of these men. I am not satisfied with what I have heard of this history, which is like the taste of Amrita. Vishampayana said, O king, then listen to the complete and pure history of your lineage, as I recite it, exactly as I had heard it from Dvipayana. From Daksha, Aditi. From Aditi, Vivashvat. From Vivashvat, Manu. From Manu, Ila. From Ila, Pururava. From Pururava, Ayush. From Ayush, Nahusha. From Nahusha, Yayati. Yayati had two wives. Vrishaparva's daughter was Sharmishta, and Ushanasha's daughter was Devayani. There is the account that Devayani gave birth to Yadu and Turvashu, and Sharmishta, Vrishaparva's daughter, gave birth to Druyu, Anu, and Puru. From Yadu, the Yadavas. From Puru, the Pauravas. Puru's wife was Koshalya. Through her, he had a son named Janamejaya. He performs 3 horse sacrifices, and after performing the sacrifice known as Vishvajit, retired to the forest. Yayati married Ananta, the daughter of Madhava. From this was born Prachinvata. He conquered the regions of the east right up to where the sun rises, and thus his name. The word Prachina means east. Prachinvata married Ashkami, and she gave birth to Samyati. Samyati married Drishadvat's daughter Varangi, and she gave birth to Ahampati. Ahampati married Kritavirya's daughter Banumati, and she gave birth to Sarvabhuma. Sarvabhuma conquered and carried off Sunanda, daughter of Kekeya, and she gave birth to Jayatsena. Jayatsena married Shushrava from the Vidarbha region, and she gave birth to Arachina. Arachina married Maryada, also from the Vidarbha region, and she gave birth to Mahabhoma. Mahabhoma married Parsanjit's daughter Suyajna, and she gave birth to Ayutanayi. He was so named because he performed the sacrifice where 1 ayuta of human sacrifices were made. Ooh, 10,000 human sacrifices.
Ooh, human.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Ayutanayi married Prithushrava's daughter Bhasha, and she gave birth to Akrodhana. Akrodhana married Karandu from the Kalinga region, and she gave birth to Devatiti. Devatiti married Maryada from the Videha region, and she gave birth to Richa. Richa married Sudeva from the Anga region, and she gave birth to Riksha. Riksha married Takshaka's daughter Jwala, and through her had a son named Matinara. Matinara performed the sacrifice on the banks of the Saraswati for 12 years. When the sacrifice was over, Saraswati herself came to him and chose him as her husband.
Wow.
Well, through her, he had a son named Tamsu. On this, there is a saying that Saraswati gave birth to a son named Tamsu from Matinara and through Kalindi. Tamsu gave birth to a son named Ilina. Elena was 5 sons through had
Elena
5
had.
sorry, yeah. Elena had 5 sons through Ratantari. Dushanta was the eldest. Dushanta married Vishwamrita's daughter Shakuntala, and she gave birth to Bharata. On this, there are 2 shlokas. The mother is only a leather bag.
Ooh.
The son who is born from the father is the father himself. O Dushanta, maintain your son and do not forsake Shakuntala. O king of men, a son who has sperm rescues one from Yama's abode by giving birth to offspring. You are the father who has planted this embryo. Shakuntala has spoken the truth.
We read those 2 verses before, remember?
Yeah, we've read those before. Hence his name was Bharata. Bharata married Sarvashena's daughter Sunanda from the Kashi region. She gave birth to Bhumanyu. Bhumanyu married Dashara's daughter Vijaya, and she gave birth to Suhotra. Suhotra married Suvarna of the Ikshvaku lineage, and she gave birth to Hasti. He established the city of Astinapur, which is why it is named Astinapur. Hasti married Yashodhara from the Trigarta region, and she gave birth to Vikuntana. Vikuntana married Sudeva from the Dashara region, and she gave birth to Ajamida. Ajamida had 2,000 Nagi, Gandhari, Bimala, and Riksha. Each became a king and established a dynasty. Among them, Samvarana was the one who carried the lineage forward. Samvarana married Tapati, Vivashvat's daughter, and she gave birth to Kuru. Kuru married Subhagi from the Dashara region, and she gave birth to Vidurata. Vidurata married Sanpriya, daughter of Madhava, and she gave birth to Arugvata. Arugvata married Amrita from the Magad region, and she gave birth to Parikshit. Parikshit married Bahuda's daughter Suyasa, and she gave birth to Bhimsen. Bhimsen married Sukumari of the Keke region, and she gave birth to Paryashrava, also known as Pratipa. Pratipa married Shibi's daughter Sunanda, and through her had sons named Devapi, Shantanu, and Balika. Mhm. Devapi retired to the forest when he was still a child. Shantanu then became the king. There is a saying about this. Those who were touched with his hands felt extreme pleasure and became young again. Therefore, he was known as Shantanu. The word Shanta means appease, calm, satisfy, cure, or alleviate. Shantanu. Thus, he was known as Shantanu. Shantanu married Bhagirathi Ganga, and she gave birth to Devavrata, who later came to be known as Bhishma. To do that which would bring pleasure to his father, Devavrata got him married to Satyavati. She became his mother, and she was also known as Gandakali. Before that, while she was still a virgin, she had a son named Dvepayana through Parashara. She bore 2 more sons to Shantanu, Vichitravirya and Chitrangada. But before reaching manhood, Chitrangada was killed by a Gandharva, and Vichitravirya then became the king. Vichitravirya married 2 daughters born to the king of Kashi through his wife Koshalya, Ambika and Ambalika. However, Vichitravirya died childless. Then Satyavati began to worry that Dushanta's lineage would become extinct. She sought of the Rishi Dvepayana, and he appeared before her and asked, "What is your command?" She told him, "Your brother Vichitravirya has gone to heaven childless. For his sake, be the father of righteous children." Dvepayana agreed and was the father to 3 sons, Drishtarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. Of these, because of a boon granted by Dvepayana, Drishtarashtra had 100 sons through his wife Gandhari. 4 of Drishtarashtra's sons were chief, Duryodhana, Dushashana, Vikarna, and Chitrasena.
That's the first, sorry. That was the first time I've actually. So Vyas, Dwaipayana,
Yes.
Satyavati was the one that ordered him to have the children. I'm just trying to figure that out. Where's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay, carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, when Vichitravirya dies, Satyavati calls her son, her third son, her first son, Vipayan Vedavyas, to come and
Carry on
give
the list.
child to his
Okay.
brother's wives.
Very important. This is the whole link, the kind of coming to the point, isn't it? It's all bringing us up to the Pandava, the people are going to be involved in what we're going to read, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like this is like a very short
Yeah, it will be
through, and
elaborated.
then we'll go through more and more later.
Okay.
Pandu had two gems among women as his wives, Kunti and Madri. One day Pandu went out for a hunt and saw a rishi in the form of a stag, uniting with a doe. He shot him with an arrow while he was still mounted on the doe, in a state of lust, but without his desire having been satiated. Wounded by the arrow, he told Pandu, "You follow Dharma, and you know the pleasure that comes from satisfaction of desire. But you have killed me before my desire was satiated. Therefore, you will also be united with the five elements." That is, meant to die. In a similar state, before your desire is satiated. Pandu paled on hearing this curse, and from that time stayed away from uniting with his wives. He told them, "This is the result of my own folly, but I have heard that in the hereafter there are no worlds for those who are childless." Therefore he asked Kunti to bear children for him, and accordingly Kunti bore children. Through Dharma, Yudhishthira; through Marut, Bhima; through Shakra, Arjuna. Pandu was pleased and said, "Your co-wife doesn't have children either. Let the right offspring also be fathered on her." Kunti agreed, and Nakula and Sahadev were then fathered on Madri through the Ashvins. One day, Pandu saw Madri dressed in her ornaments, and his desire was stirred. But he died as soon as he touched her. Then Madri ascended the funeral pyre with him, requesting Kunti to affectionately rear the twins.
Wow. I didn't know that.
You did?
I'm just ignorant. I mean, there's so much of the
You
Mahabharata.
didn't know that, Mathura?
Well, I kind of knew it, but it went in one ear and out the other.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a passing phrase once upon a time, and then in the million things that happen in life.
Well,
Because
you
I'm
know,
not stuck to Shastra like you are. I'm diverted and distracted by the myriad illusions of life.
Later, ascetics took the five Pandavas and Kunti to Hastinapur and introduced them to Bhishma and Vidura. An attempt was made to burn them in the house of luck, but this failed because of Vidura's counsel. After this, Hidimba was killed, and they went to a place named Ekachakra. In Ekachakra, they killed a Rakshasa named Baka, and then went to the capital of Panchala. Thereafter, they obtained Draupadi as their wife, and returned to their own country in good health. They had skilled sons. Yudhishthir had Prativindya, Vikrodhara, and Sutashoma.
Vikrodara meaning Bhima.
Oh, sorry. Vikrodhara means Bhima. He had Sutashoma, and Arjuna had Shrutakirti, Nakula had Shatanika, and Sahadev had Shrutakarmana. In Swayamvar, Yudhishthir obtained Devika as his wife. She was the daughter of Govashana of the Shibi lineage, and through her he had a son named Yodeya. Through a Virya Shulka marriage, Virya Shulka is price, but this is not a marriage where a bride price is paid. Virya means valor, so this is a marriage where the bride is married to the person who exhibits the most valor. Through a Virya Shulka marriage, Bhima obtained as his wife Baladhara, the daughter of the king of Kashi. Through her, he had a son named Sarvaga. Arjuna went to Dwaravati and obtained Vasudeva's sister Subhadra as his wife. Through her, he had a son named Abhimanyu. Nakula had Karenumati from the Chedi region as his wife, and through her had a son named Niramitra. In the Swayambar, Sahadev obtained Vijaya, daughter of the king of Madra, as his wife, and had a son named Suhotra. Before this, Bhima had a son named Gatotkacha through the Rakshasa Hidimba. These are the 11 sons of the Pandavas. Abhimanyu married Virata's daughter Uttara. She gave birth to a stillborn child. On the command of Vasudev, supreme among men, Prita accepted him in her arms. Kunti. He said, I will instill life into this embryo that is 6 months old. Having revived him, he said, he was born in a lineage that was diminished. Therefore, he will be known as Parikshit. Parikshit married Madravati and she gave birth to Janamejaya. Through Vapushtana, Janamejaya had 2 sons named Shatanika and Shanku. Shatanika had a son named Ashvamedhadatta through a wife from the Videha region. Thus, the lineage of Puru and Pandu has been recounted. He who hears about Puru's lineage is freed from all sin. Vaishampayana said, there was once a king named Mahabhisha. He was born in the Ikshvaku lineage and was a lord of the earth. He was always truthful and truly valorous. He pleased the Lord of the gods through 1,000 horse sacrifice and 100 Vajapeya sacrifices. Vajapeya, a sacrifice where offerings of food and water were made. Okay? And thus attained heaven. One day, the gods went to pay homage to Brahma. Many Rajarshis and King Mahabhisha were also present. Ganga, the best of the rivers, also came to pay homage to the grandfather. Her garments, as white as moonlight, were blown away by the wind, and immediately the masses of God lowered their faces. However, Rajarshi Mahabhisha continued to stare unabashedly at the river. Because of this, Mahabhisha was cursed by the illustrious Brahma. You will be born on earth, and then you will again regain these worlds. The king then thought about all the kings and ascetics on earth and chose the immensely radiant Pratipa as his father. On seeing King Mahabhisha lose his composure, the best of the rivers went away, thinking about him in her mind. The longer past, she saw the divine Vasus. They were crestfallen, and dark was the despair at having been dislodged from heaven. On seeing them in that state, the great river asked, "O residents of heaven, why are your forms destroyed? Why are you in despair?" The divine Vasus replied, "O great river, we have been severely cursed by the great soul Vashishta for a minor transgression. Not seen by us, that supreme of rishis was engaged in his twilight rites, and in our folly we crossed him. In his anger, he cursed us that we would be born in a womb. It is not possible to negate what the Brahman knowing one has said. Therefore, become a woman on earth and bear the Vasus as your sons. We cannot enter the womb of an impure woman." Having been thus addressed, Ganga agreed and asked, "Which supreme man will be your father?" The Vasus replied, "In the world of men, a son will be born to Pratipa. He will be King Shantanu, devoted to Dharma, and he will be our father." Ganga said, "O unblemished gods, I was thinking exactly the same. I will do that which brings pleasure to him, and also satisfy your wishes." The Vasus replied, "O revered one who dwells in the 3 worlds, you must hurl your sons into the water as soon as they are born, so that we are quickly freed and don't suffer for a long time." Ganga said, "I will do what you wish, but so that my union with him is not completely fruitless, let one son remain with him. The Vasus replied, each one of us will offer 1/8 of our respective energies. From that, a son will be born to you and will live according to your desires. But he will have no children on earth. Therefore, this valorous son of yours will remain without a son. Making this agreement with Ganga, the Vasus happily went away to the place where they dwelt. Vaishampayana said, King Pratipa was always devoted to the welfare of all beings. He spent many years in meditation on the banks of the Ganga. Then Ganga assumed the form of a woman who was beautiful and had all the qualities. She arose from the waters in this desirable form. The Rajarshi was studying. This divine and intelligent one with a beautiful face came and sat on his right thigh, which was like a shala tree. Pratipa, lord of the earth, asked the intelligent one, O fortunate one, what can I do to bring you pleasure? What is your desire? The lady said, O king, O best of the Kurus, I desire you. I offer myself. Accept me and love me in return. Those who were wise always considered evil the act of refusing a woman who is full of desire. Pratipa replied, O beautiful one, out of desire I can never go to another man's wife or to one who is not equal to me in Varna. O fortunate one, know that this is the vow I have taken for the sake of Dharma. The lady said, I am never undesirable. I am never one with whom union is forbidden. I am never malignant. I am a divine lady and supreme in beauty. O king, love me as I wish to love you. Pratipa replied, I must refrain from doing what brings you pleasure. I have taken a vow, and if I break it, Dharma will bring about my destruction. O beautiful lady, you have seated yourself on my right thigh. O timid one, that is the best earmarked for daughters and daughters-in-law.
That is the seat.
That is the seat earmarked for daughters and daughters-in-law. The left is the seat for the woman one finds pleasure with, but you have rejected it. O beautiful, beautiful one, therefore I cannot satisfy desire with you. O fortunate one, I accept you for my son. Be my daughter-in-law. The left thigh is for the wife, but you have not accepted that. The lady said, O one who is learned in Dharma, let it be as you say. Let me be united with your son. Out of my love for you, I will love the famous Bharata lineage. Your dynasty is the refuge for all the kings on earth. Even if I take 100 years, I will not be able to recount the qualities of this dynasty, whose fame and righteousness is supreme. But he must not know my high birth, nor must he ever question what I do. Living with your son in this way, I will make him happy and bring about his welfare. Because of his sons, his righteous conduct, and his merits, your son will attain heaven. O king, having said this, she disappeared. The king waited for his son to be born and for the promise to be fulfilled. O descendant of the Kuru lineage, meanwhile, Pratipa, bull among the Kshatriyas, performed austerities with his wife so as to obtain a son. Though they were old, a son was born to them, and this son was Mahabisha. He was known as Shantanu because he was born when his father had controlled his senses. Mahabisha was the one that was in heaven and came back down, right?
And he was looking at Ganga naked.
Right. He was known as Shantanu because he was born when his father had controlled his senses. Remembering that the eternal worlds can only be conquered through one's own deeds, Shantanu, supreme of the Kuru lineage, devoted himself to sacred conduct. When his son Shantanu became a youth, Pratipa told him, O Shantanu, earlier a lady had approached me for your welfare. O son, if that divine and beautiful lady comes to you in secret and desires you as to obtain offspring, you must not question her about who she is and who she belongs to. O unblemished one, you must not question any of her acts. I will I tell you that you must love her as she loves you. Having thus commended his son and instated him on the throne, King Pratipa departed for the forest. King Shantanu was intelligent and became a famous archer on earth. He loved hunting and spent a lot of time in the forest. Once, that best of kings killed many deers and buffaloes. Wandering alone along the banks of the Ganga, he came to a place frequented by the Siddhas and the Charanas. One day, the king saw there a supreme woman, dazzling in her beauty, like the lotus-seated Shri herself. Her body was faultless and her teeth were beautiful. She was adorned with divine ornaments. She was alone and she wore sheer garments that were as beautiful as the filaments of a lotus. The king was astounded at the beauty of her form, and the hair on his body stood up in rapture. The Lord of Men gazed at her with his eyes, but was not satisfied. On seeing the radiant king move around, she also felt love and affection for him. And the wanton one wasn't satisfied. The king then addressed her in a gentle voice. O beautiful one, O one with a slender waist, are you from the race of gods, demons, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Yakshas, or Panagas? Or are you human? You seem to be born of the gods. Whoever you are, please be my wife. Hearing these soft words from the smiling king, that unblemished one remembered the promise she had made to the Vasus. She spoke to the king, gladdening his heart with her words. O Lord of the earth, I will be your queen and will obey your words. O king, but you must not interfere in my acts, regardless or whether they please or displease you. You must never try to stop me or speak to me harshly. O king, as long as you act in the way I have asked you to, I will be with you. But I will certainly leave you whenever you try to stop me or speak to me harshly. The best of the Bharata lineage agreed. And at that, the lady was delighted to have obtained that supreme of kings as her husband. Having obtained her, Shantanu was also delighted. He pleasured with her as he desired, and remembering the promise, refrained from asking her anything. The Lord of the earth was extremely pleased with her conduct, beauty, generosity, qualities, and secret art of love. The divine Ganga, who courses the three worlds, assumed a beautiful and radiant human form and lived happily as an obedient wife to Shantanu, that lion among kings. He was as radiant as the king of the gods himself, and his love waxed as his fortune did. She pleased the king with her skilled love-making, intelligence, coquetry, and demeanor, and the king loved her as much as she did. The king was so addicted to desire and the qualities of his supreme wife that many years, seasons, and months passed by without him being aware. When the Lord of Men thus united with her, when desire seized them, 8 sons were born by her, each resembling a god. O descendant of the Bharat lineage, as soon as each son was born, one after another, she flung them into the waters of the Ganga, saying, "This is for your own good." This did not please King Shantanu, but the Lord of the earth did not dare to utter a word for fear of losing her. When the 8th son was born, and she seemed to be smiling, the king, who desired a son, miserably told her, "Do not kill him. Who are you? Who do you belong to? Why do you kill your sons? As a murderer of your sons, you are committing a great sin. O evil one, do not commit sin. Do not commit sin. Desist." Ganga replied, "Since you desire a son, I will not kill this son. You will become the supreme father of a son. But following our agreement, my stay here has come to an end. I am Ganga, the daughter of Janu, and worshipped by a large number of Maharishis. I have lived with you so far to accomplish the wishes of the gods. These were the 8 Vasus, immensely fortunate and immensely energetic gods. As a result of a curse imposed by Vashishta, they had to be born in human form. There was no better father than you on earth, and no human mother in this world who could equal me. Therefore, I assumed human form to become their mother. By becoming the father of the 8 Vasus, you have conquered the eternal worlds. My agreements with the divine Vasus was that I should free them from their human births as soon as each was born. I have thus freed them from the curse imposed by the great soul Apava, Vashishta. Be fortunate. I must leave now. Rear this son. He will be rigid in his vows. My promise to the Vasus that I would live with you is over. Let this son born from me be known as Gangadatta.
Madad,
Yeah.
I think that was fantastic.
All
Wow.
right. Again, yeah.
I think it's time to conclude the reading to the next bit.
Okay, I'll read a bit, shall I? And then
Just
before
read
we
it. I think just read up until I don't know.
All
Just keep reading until.
Is it 93? Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter 93. Shantanu said, "Who was Apava? What act was committed by the Vasus that they were all cursed to be born in human wombs? What has this son, Gangadatta, done that he must now live among men? The Vasus are lords of all the worlds. O Jahnavi, why were they born among men? Tell me everything." Vaishampayana said, "Having been thus addressed, the divine goddess Jahnavi Ganga addressed her husband King Shantanu, bull among men. Ganga said, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, Varuna once had a son, the sage Vashishta, later famous as Apava. His holy hermitage was along the side of Meru, the king of the mountains. It was populated with deer and birds, and was always covered with flowers. O best of the Bharata lineage, Varuna's son, supreme among those who perform sacred deeds, performed austerities in that forest, which had a plentiful supply of tasty roots, fruit, and water. Daksha had a proud daughter named Surabhi, O bull among the Bharata lineage. Through Kashyapa, that goddess gave birth to a cow for the welfare of that entire world. This supreme cow was capable of fulfilling every desire. Varuna's righteous son obtained this cow for the sake of performing sacrifices, and the cow lived in that forest, populated by sages. Fearlessly, she grazed in those sacred and lovely woods. O bull among the Bharata lineage, once all the divine Vasus with Prithu at their head came to visit that forest, frequented by the gods and Devarshis. With their wives they roamed in the forest and made love in its lovely mountains and woods. O you who are as valorous as Vasava himself, a slender-waisted wife of one of the Vasus saw the supreme cow, which belonged to the sage Vashishta, and was capable of fulfilling every desire, roaming in the forest. He was amazed at its conduct, power, and riches, and showed it to Dio, who had eyes like those of a bull.
Who's that? Sorry, who's
That's
the
one of the other Vasus, who's her husband.
Okay.
The cow was well fed and yielded plenty of milk. It had a beautiful tail and handsome face. It had all the qualities and was supreme in its conduct. O Lord of Kings, O descendant of the Puru lineage, so great were its qualities that the Vasu's wife showed it to the Vasu. O you who are like the king of elephants, O you who are like Indra in valor, Dio saw the cow with its beauty and qualities. O king, he then told the goddess, O goddess with the dark eyes, O one with the beautiful hips, O one with the slender waist, this supreme cow belongs to the Rishi who is Varuna's son. He is the owner of this supreme forest. A person who drinks this cow's tasty milk will live for 10,000 years with undiminished youth.
Wow.
O supreme among kings, when that slender-waisted goddess of unblemished form heard these words, remember this is Ganga telling Shantanu, she told her husband, whose energy was radiant, I have a friend in this world of men, and she is the daughter of a king. Her name is Jinavati, and she is young and beautiful. She is the daughter of Rajarshi Ushinara, who is truthful and intelligent. This daughter is famous in the world of men because of the wealth of her beauty. O immensely fortunate one, I wish to obtain this cow and its calf for her. O best of the gods, O one who increases good deeds, please bring them quickly. O one who grants pride, on drinking the milk, my friend will be the only one in the world of men to be freed from age and disease. O immensely fortunate one, O unblemished one, please do this for me. There is no other pleasure that would please me more. Hearing the words of the goddess, Dyo wished to please her and stole the cow with the help of Prithu and his other brothers. O king, instructed by his lotus-eyed wife, Dyo did not think about the great ascetic powers of the rishi who owned her. He failed to consider that stealing the cow would lead to his downfall. In the evening, Varuna's son, that's Vashishta, returned to the hermitage with the fruit he had collected. He did not see the cow and her calf in that supreme wood. Then the one blessed with the power of austerities looked for her in the forest. But though he searched, the sage could not find her. Through his divine sight, he then found that she had been stolen by the Vasus. His anger arose and he cursed the Vasus. Because the Vasus have stolen my cow, which yields sweet milk and has a handsome tail, there is no doubt that they will all be born as men. O bull among the Bharata lineage, thus did the illustrious Apava, supreme among sages, curse the Vasus in his anger. Having cursed them, the illustrious one returned to his austerities. O king, thus in his wrath did the one blessed with the power of austerities curse the 8 Vasus. The rishi was immensely powerful and knew the nature of the Brahman. As soon as they knew that they had been cursed by the rishi, the gods went to the hermitage of the great-souled one. O bull among kings, the Vasus tried to pacify the rishi, O tiger among men, but they failed to obtain the grace of Apava, who was learned in all dharma and was supreme among rishis. The righteous sage said, O Dara, you and the other Vasus have been cursed, but you will be freed from your curse within a year. But Dyo, who is the one whose act led to your being cursed by me, because of his own deeds, he will have to live in the world of men for a long time. Though uttered in anger, my words cannot amount to falsehood. However, the great-souled one will not have offspring in the world of men. He will be devoted to Dharma and will be skilled in the usage of all weapons. He will be engaged in doing that which brings his father pleasure, and he will forsake pleasure with women. Having thus addressed all the Vasus in this way, the great Rishi went away. And all the Vasus then came to me together. O king, they craved a boon from me. O Ganga, as soon as each one of us is born, you should yourself throw us into the water. O supreme among kings, I agreed and acted accordingly in order to free them from the life in the world of men, a consequence of the curse. O best of kings, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, O king, Dio alone will have to live in the world of men for a long time because of the Rishi's curse. Vaishampayana said, having completed the account, the goddess immediately vanished. Taking her son with her, she went away to wherever she wished to go. That son of Shantanu came to be known under two names, Devavrata and Gangeya. He surpassed Shantanu in all his qualities. With sorrow in his heart, Shantanu then returned to his own capital. I will now recount for you Shantanu's many qualities and the great fortune of this famous king, who was from the Bharata lineage and whose illustrious history is known as the Mahabharata. 94. Vaishampayana said, King Shantanu was intelligent and was honored by the gods and the Rajarshis. He was devoted to Dharma and was famous in all the worlds for being righteous and truthful. Shantanu, bull among men, always displayed self-control, generosity, forgiveness, forbearance, resoluteness, supreme energy, and great nobility. The king had all these qualities and was also skilled in dharma and artha. He was the protector of the Bharata lineage and all righteous people. His neck was like a conch shell, his shoulders were broad, and his strength was like that of a mad elephant. For him, dharma was superior to kama and artha. O bull among men, on seeing that he was devoted to dharma and supreme in the practice of all forms of dharma, all the kings instated him as the king of kings. With that lord of the Bharata lineage as their protector, all the kings on earth were freed from sorrow, fear, and anxiety, and awoke every morning from sweet dreams. When the world was ruled by kings led by Shantanu, all the Varnas followed rules that served the cause of the Brahman. Brahmanas were served by Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas were served by Vaishyas. Devoted to Brahmins and Kshatriyas, Shudras served the Vaishyas. Shantanu lived in Hastinapur, the beautiful capital of the Kurus. He ruled over the entire earth, right up to the boundaries of the oceans. He was devoted to truth and learned in Dharma, an equal of the king of the gods. He attained great fortune through the dharma of generosity and austerities. He was free of anger and hatred. He was as pleasant as Soma. He was as energetic as the sun, and his speed was like that of Vayu. He was like Yama in anger and like the earth in patience. O king, when Shantanu ruled the earth, no animals, boars and birds suffered pointless death. Brahmana dharma was always followed in Shantanu's kingdom. He treated all beings equally, without desire and anger. Sacrifices were performed for the worship of gods, rishis and the ancestors, but no being was deprived of its life other than in accordance with dharma. The king was like a father to those who were miserable, to those who were without a protector, and to animals. During the reign of that best of the Kuru lineage, the king of kings, words were embedded in truth, and the mind was embedded in generosity and dharma. Having pleasured with women for 36 years, the king retired to the forest. Shantanu's son, the Vasu, who was born as Ganga's son and was now named Devavrata, was like him in beauty, conduct, behavior, and learning. He was skilled in the usage of all weapons. Compared to other kings, he was mighty in strength, mighty in power, mighty in valor, and mighty as a charioteer. Once, when he had shot a deer, King Shantanu followed it along the banks of the river Ganga. He saw that the waters of the Bhagirathi had become shallow. On seeing this, Shantanu, bull among men, was concerned and wondered, why does this best of rivers not flow the way it used to do earlier? While trying to determine the reason, the great-souled one saw a large youth who was beautiful and handsome of face. He was like the god Purandara himself. He had divine weapons and a bow. Using his sharp arrows, he had stemmed the flow of the river Ganga. On witnessing this wonderful and superhuman feat of checking the Ganga's course with arrows, the king was astounded. Shantanu had seen his son only once at the time of birth. Therefore, despite being wise, he did not have sufficient recollection to recognize his own son. As soon as he saw his father, the youth created delusion through his powers and instantly disappeared. When King Shantanu witnessed this, he suspected the youth to be his own son and addressed Ganga. "Show him to me." Ganga appeared in a supremely beautiful form and showed him the ornamented youth, holding him by the right hand. Though he had known her before, Shantanu failed to recognize her, since she was adorned with ornaments and wore a garment that gathered no dust. Ganga said, "O king, O tiger among men, this is the 8th son you fathered on me. Take him home. He has studied the Vedas and the Vedangas from Vashishta himself. This valorous one is skilled in the usage of all weapons and a supreme archer. In battle, he is like the king of the gods himself, O descendant of the Bharata lineage. The gods always revere him, and so do the Asuras. He has all the knowledge of the Vedas that Ushanas possesses. This great-souled and strong-armed son of yours is also well versed in all the knowledge of the sacred texts and their branches possessed by Angirasa's son, Brihaspati, who is worshipped by the gods and the Asuras. He also has the knowledge about weapons possessed by the powerful and invincible Rishi, who is the son of Jamadagni, Parashuram. O king, your son is a great archer and also has knowledge about Dharma and Artha, as practiced by kings. O brave one, I am myself giving you my brave son. Take him home." Vaishampayana said, having been thus addressed by Ganga, Shantanu accepted his son, who was as radiant as the sun, and returned to his capital. When he reached his city, which was like Purandara's city, the descendant of the Puru lineage was happy and thought that all his desires had been fulfilled. He instated his great-souled son, who had all the qualities, as the heir apparent. O bull among the Bharata lineage, the immensely famous son won, through his conduct, the affection of everyone in the Puru lineage, his father and the kingdom. Thus, the Lord of the earth, who was unlimited in valor, enjoyed himself with his son for 4 years. One day, the Lord of the earth went to a forest that was along the Yamuna river. While he was wandering around, he inhaled an extremely sweet fragrance that came from an unknown direction. Searching for the cause, he saw a lady from the fisherman tribe who was as beautiful as a goddess. On seeing that dark-eyed lady, he asked, "Oh, timid one, who are you and whose are you? What are you doing here?" She replied, "O great-souled one, I belong to the fisherman tribe. Following the Dharma prescribed for us, I ply a boat on the instruction of my father, who is the king of the fishermen. Having seen her beauty and sweetness equal to that of a goddess, and inhaled her fragrance, King Shantanu desired the lady from the fisherman tribe. He went to her father and asked him to give her to him. The king of the fishermen told the king, "From the day she was born, I have known that I will have to give my beautiful daughter to someone. O Lord of men, however, there was a desire in my heart, and let me tell you that now. O unblemished one, if you desire to take her as your wife in accordance with Dharma, you must truthfully make a pledge to me, because I know that you are true to your word. O king, if you make that pledge, I will give my daughter to you, because I will never be able to find a husband for her who is like you." Shantanu replied, "O fisherman, it is only after hearing what you ask for that I can say whether I can or cannot. If it is something that can be granted, I will do so, but not otherwise." The fisherman replied, "O Lord of the earth, the son who will be born from her will be instated king of the earth after you and no one else. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, though his body burnt with the sharp pains of desire, Shantanu was unwilling to grant this boon to the fisherman. The Lord of the earth returned to Hastinapur, thinking about the daughter of the fisherman and with his heart burdened by sorrow. One day his son Devavrata came to Shantanu when he was thus meditating and thinking sorrowfully, and told his father, "Everything is peaceful. All the kings obey you. Why are you then always sorrowful, as if in pain? O king, immersed in your own thoughts, you do not utter a word." Having been thus addressed by his son, Shantanu replied, "Without a doubt, I am always meditating, just as you say. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, you are the only son in this lineage of ours. O son, I sorrow because of the impermanence of this mortal life. O son of Ganga, if anything happens to you, this lineage of ours will cease to exist. There is no doubt that you are superior to 100 great sons. Therefore, without reason, I do not wish to have another wife. I only wish that you are fortunate, fulfill your desires, and have sons, so that our lineage survives. However, those who are learned in Dharma say that having one son is like having no son at all. Agnihotra, the 3 Vedas, the sacrifices that involve a lot of alms are together not worth 1/16th part of having a son. This is true of man and all beings. O immensely wise one, on this I have no doubts. That is what the eternal and supreme 3 and Puranas say. O descent to supreme 3, the 3 Vedas. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, you are brave, never forgive, and are always armed. O unblemished one, there is every possibility of your being killed through weapons. If that happens, I worry about how I can possibly find peace. O son, now I have completely told you the reason for my sorrow. Having heard this complete reason, the immensely intelligent Devavrata began to think about this. He then went and asked an old adviser who was always concerned about his father's welfare. He asked him the reason for his father's misery. O bull among the Bharata lineage, on being asked by the foremost among the Kurus, he told him truthfully about the boon that had been asked for the lady. Then Devavrata took many old Kshatriyas with him and went to see the king of the fishermen. On his father's behalf, he himself asked for the daughter. The fisherman received him and paid him homage in accordance with what was prescribed. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, when he was seated in the king's assembly, he said, O bull among men, you are an adequate protector for Shantanu. You are his son, and he is the best of fathers. How can I say anything against your words? Even if the bride's father is Shatakratu himself, he cannot be but pained at having to reject such an honorable and desirable union of wombs. The famous Satyavati was born from the seed of an Arya who is equal in qualities to you. He has often told me about your father's achievements. He has told me that among all the kings he is most suited to marry Satyavati. In earlier times, I have refused the famous Devarshiya Sita when that supreme of rishis came and asked for Satyavati. O bull among the Bharatas, however, as the girl's father, there is something I must say. There is one strong objection that I can see. O scourge of your enemies, whoever is your rival, Gandharva or Asura, will not live happily if you are angry. O king, this is the only fault with the marriage and no other. O scourge of your enemies, O fortunate one, know that this is all I have to say in the matter of giving and taking. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, having heard this, for the sake of his father, and in the hearing of the kings, Ganga's son uttered the following words in reply. O supreme among truthful ones, listen to the truthful vow I make today. The man has not been born, nor will ever be born, who will dare to utter words like these. I will do what you have asked for. The son who will be born from her will be the king. O bull among the Bharata lineage, that these words the fisherman spoke again, desiring to accomplish the difficult task of obtaining the kingdom. O Lord, you are an adequate protector for the radiant Shantanu and also for the lady. Your heart is in Dharma, and you are also Lord of the act of granting. O equable one, however, there is something else that needs to be said and done. Listen to me, O conqueror of enemies. This must be said for the welfare of daughters. O you who are devoted to truth and all Dharma, the vow that you have taken in the midst of all these kings for Satyavati's sake is worthy of you. O mighty armed one, I have no doubt that it will never be violated by you, but I do have great doubts about the sons who will be born to you. O king, knowing what was on his mind, the one who was devoted to truth and all Dharma wished to do that which would bring pleasure to his father and made a promise. O king of fishermen, O supreme among kings, listen to these words of mine. In front of all these lords of the earth, hear what I have to say for my father's sake. O Lord of men, I have already relinquished my right to the kingdom. I will not destroy the doubt that has arisen about my sons. O fisherman, from today I take the vow of Brahmacharya. Even if I die without a son, I will attain the eternal world of heaven. When he heard these words, the fisherman's body hair rose up in delight. He told the one who had a dharma in his heart that he was prepared to give. From the sky, apsaras, gods, and rishis rained down flowers and said, "He is Bhishma." For his father's sake, he then told the famous one, "O mother, please ascend this chariot and let us go to our own home." Having uttered these words, Bhishma made the beautiful lady ascend the chariot, and arriving in Hastinapura, he told Shantanu all that had happened. Then all the kings praised him for this difficult feat, and jointly and individually said, "He is Bhishma." Witnessing the difficult feat accomplished by Bhishma, his father Shantanu was pleased and granted him the boon that he would only die when he himself so willed.
Wow. Bhishma. Bhishma. Bhishma.
That's
Wow.
cool. Right, we've been over the time.
I know, but it was worth it, wasn't it? My goodness gracious
Yeah.
me.
Stop the recording then, Matura, and we can all
We can
oohs.
all talk up. Is that stopped? I can't tell. Have I stopped it?
It'll tell us.
Oh,
No,
no,
you haven't.
recording. What? Have I can't tell. I'm pressing.
It's still recording.
So, okay, recording. Okay, stop. Cancel. Stop. Yeah.